Hola! It is your old pal the Rhino for Survival Skills 101. You know, I've been out in the woods now for about 3 days. I stink. I don't look very good. But you know what? I'm going to do a video. This is how to use a tactical bow saw when cutting wood. Check this out. This is a neat trick. If you spend any time outdoors, you know what a chore it is to cut wood. I want to suggest to you, to make it easier on you, that you buy yourself a bow saw. A bow saw is really effective for cutting firewood, along with an axe, of course. But you know what? When you're cutting limbs and things like this, the bow saw works awesome. When I was a kid, I was cutting something with my dad's bow saw, and I cut my finger, and I almost cut the thing off. And my uncle, who's a really cool guy, suggested a different method for using the bow saw when you're cutting wood, and I want to share that with you today. You know, a lot of people, when they're cutting wood, they'll grab a hold of the limb like this, and they'll cut it here. The problem is this could slip and cut your fingers, like it happened to me. So what I do when I use my bow saw is I want to keep pressure on the limb here on a piece of wood. So I'm keeping that down, so that way it makes the cut a lot easier. So basically what you do is you're going to take your hand through the bow saw. Now, a bow saw comes in various shapes, but the more angle that you have, the deeper the bow saw, the better this works. This one works great for me, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand through here, and I'm going to cut like this. Now, as you can see, there's no possibility that I'm going to be cut on my hand, and I'm keeping it out of the way, while at the same time I'm keeping pressure on my cuts. So here we go. Let's see this. Putting pressure right here, and I just start to cut. Now, when you're cutting, you want to make sure that you don't put pressure and you let the saw do it itself. It'll cut on its own. Alright, there you go. And then you can move it on again over here, keeping pressure on it and doing it again. This method right here keeps your hand safe, so there is no possibility that you're going to get cut. When you're out in the woods, that is no time to be dealing with a massive cut where you're going to need stitches, or hopefully not have something that has to be sewn back on. So the bow saw works incredibly effective for sawing wood if you do it right. Have your gloves on and stick your hand through. One last thing that I want to suggest to you is that you have a burlap bag that will also help you collect the smaller pieces of wood. You know, when you're looking for wood, it can be very time consuming where you go and grab a pile and you take it back over. Well, you can load this burlap bag up with all kinds of small pieces of wood, limbs, and drag it back to your camp. So when you use this in this method right here for sawing these small limbs, you will make it completely easy for yourself to cut wood. Okay, how to use a bow saw when cutting wood. I hope you got something out of that. I know I did. Anyway, don't cut off your damn fingers like I almost did. Hey, if you like what we're doing, subscribe to our channel. Give us a like, for crying out loud. I'm your old pal the Rhino for Survival Skills 101. Are you prepared to look forward?